Hi, I'm Jeff, and welcome to another one of my videos where I give you the opportunity to test your comic book grading skills up against actual results from CGC. This video is part 5 of an 8-part video series that I am doing featuring a 25-book modern submission that I just got back from CGC. All the books in this submission are X-Men themed and were released, some of them decades apart from each other, and I am a huge X-Men fan, so I am super excited about the books in this submission. Now, just so you all know, I sent these books off to CGC back in May of 2021, and I'm just now getting them back at the end of July 2022. Now, part of the reason it took that long is that they did get pressed at CCS, and that process is currently taking a very long time. So I've had to be very patient with this submission, and I'm super excited that they are here, and I cannot wait to find out the results that I got with my grades on these books. But this video is a test your comic book grading skills video. What I do is I will show you video that I made of the 3 books that we are going to be talking in this part of the series when they were raw, before I sent them out to CGC. We're going to look at that video and we are going to assess the books. We're going to take a look at any defects, any flaws, anything that might impact the grade negatively. Then we are going to give our best guess as to what we think the grade might be. After we've done that, we are going to take out the 3 books from this box and we're going to take a look at the actual results that we got from CGC. If for some reason the grade that I get from CGC is way off from my guess, we'll do a little bit of a post-grading analysis. See if we can't work backwards and figure out why CGC gave the book the grade that it did. All right, that's it. That's all you need to know. Let's go ahead and take a look at these 3 books when they were raw. All right, first up we have X-Men 103. This is a nice older X-Men book with a nice cover and in really nice condition. Not perfect condition, though. You can see right away that there are color-breaking spine ticks. We will get a better look at those when we change the angle and go back up the spine. There might be a little bit of damage there in the bottom right-hand corner, but this book, as with all the books in this submission, are getting a clean in a press, so that'll help a little bit. But the color-breaking spine ticks, those are going nowhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... Yeah, we got some color-breaking spine ticks. So this is definitely not a 9.8. And there might be some color rub there in the black banner. But let's take a look at the rest of this book. It looks really good. I mean, the colors look good. The edges look good. I don't see any other scratches or flaws or anything. Maybe a little bit of a lift kind of crease there at the bottom, but I think the press will clean that up quite nicely. So this is a really nice cover. And so is this. No, this is not deja vu. This is a double cover. Yes, this is the first double cover that I've ever had in my collection. I bought a bunch of books off a seller on eBay, and they must not have known this was a double cover, or else they would have not sold it to me. And I'm very, very happy that I found this as a double cover. Now, there is a color-breaking spine tick right there next to Storm's hair. I tried very carefully to do my best to show you this interior cover as best as I could. Because for those of you who don't know, when they have a double cover at CGC, they give grades to both covers. They will list the grade for both covers on the label. That being said, the grade that goes into the big box on the label will be the higher of the 2 grades. In most instances, and I think most definitely in this instance, that higher grade will be attributed to the interior cover, because this interior cover was protected by that exterior cover, and boy does it look like it. This is a very nice looking cover with just that one small color-breaking spine tick. Moving on to the back of this book, this is a good looking back as well. Now it looks like above the one and between the one and the ride there, it looks like there's like a stain or something. I believe that is coming through the ink, coming through the white paper from the interior. So that's not damage. All these dark spots that you see here though is technically damage. I believe that will get cleaned up significantly, if not completely, by the press and the clean. There's some damage there in the bottom right-hand corner that I think will get helped by the press. More opportunities to clean up there, but it is not a perfect back cover by any means. Once again, we'll get helped by the clean and the press. But if I was just going off of the exterior cover, I'd probably go with about a 9.4. But we're going to be looking at the interior cover as well. And once again, this one was well protected by the exterior cover. You don't see any of those black spots. And yes, you do see that area between the one and the ride there is just whatever the image is on the inside bleeding through the white paper. That bottom corner is a little bit of a lift to it. I think the press is going to help it out a lot. There won't be much to do by way of cleaning here because, once again, this didn't get dirty because it was protected by the outer cover. I'm going to try to show you the spine inside here on this interior back cover, and it looks real good. There might be a little bit of a tick there, but I think it's the flip side of the one on the front. But I think that'll get helped a lot by the press. But this back looks really, really good. I think in general, this is a really, really nice looking book. I'm happy to have it as a double cover. The final grade, the final assessment is a 9.6. Next up, we have X-Men 120. This is the first appearance of Alpha Flight in Cameo. This is a nice looking book, but this book does have some problems. You can see right there in the corner, there's a little bit of damage. I see a lot of time through this guy's heads right here, tons of spine ticks. I only see one on this particular copy, so that's pretty good for me. But you will see there along the spine, clear as day, right next to the UPC symbol, there's some color rub or damage or something there. But yeah, there's that one spine tick. But the rest of the spine looks actually really pretty good until you get to that top corner, which it's got some damage, but it's nothing too bad, but damaged nonetheless. The rest of this book looks really, really good. Now, there is a color breaking crease there in the top right-hand corner. Small, but it exists. There's also some damage there in the bottom right-hand corner. That's probably some of the gnarliest damage on this book. Quite unfortunate. I think that'll definitely take it out of the highest grade ranges. But it presents really nice. It just has those damaged corners. The back of this book looks really good as well. That's a nice sharp corner there. The edge looks good. There might be a little bit of a ink stain there next to the ad. I don't think that will clean up, but some of the black kind of spotty areas will. I think through here that will clean up potentially. But who knows? Some of it looks like it's black and it's blue instead of black. So I wonder if that's some kind of ink and if they'll attribute that to a misprint or what. There's a miswrap there. That's not going to hurt the grade. Some of that front covers on the back. But it's all in all a nice looking book, but it's got enough damage. Those color breaking creases on the front, I think it's going to hurt the book significantly and put it in an 8.0. Finally, we have X-Men 121, the first full appearance of Alpha Flight. For some reason, people prefer the cameo over the first full. That's unusual, but the community has spoken, and so it goes. This is a nice looking book at first glance. That corner maybe is a little blunted and will hurt the grade, but the spine in general is not perfect, but looks really, really good. There might be some minor color breaking spine ticks there, but this is a halfway decent looking book. Let's see what else we have here. Maybe some color rub in the 40 cents there, maybe some in the Marvel Comics banner there, but nothing too bad. That corner looks pretty good. That edge looks pretty good. I don't see any scratches. I don't see any color breaking. That bottom corner, maybe not so great, but I think it's okay. So definitely not a 9.8. I would say, based off of what I've seen already, probably not a 9.6 either. Let's see what's going on the back. The back looks good at first glance. That edge looks a little rough. Yeah, that's going to hurt the grade, I think, a little bit. I think it's probably from just, there's a little bit of a crease there. That'll get flattened out and cleaned up with the press and the clean. I have to think that corner that edge looks that way because of how the paper was cut, more than it being damaged after being manufactured. But who knows? That corner is not good. That is definitely going to hurt the grade. But a lot of these black speckle marks, those will clean up in the clean and press. So this looks pretty good. I'm going to be a little optimistic with the clean and press helping this book a decent amount. And I'm going to go with a 9.4. All right, so now you've had the opportunity to take a look at the books that we are going to be talking about in this part of this series when they were raw. You've assessed them, and now you have your best guess as to what you think the grade should be. I have shared with you what my guess is for what the grade should be. This is my notes that I took way back over a year ago when I was originally assessing these books. So now let's go ahead and find out what the results are. Now you know what 3 books are going to be coming out of this box because you just saw them in the raw, but I don't know yet what 3 books we're talking about in this video. I'm working through these randomly from one side of the box to the other, and they are not in the order that they show up on this list. So I'm pulling them out, and I'm surprised each time I pull out a book. So let's go ahead and do that. Pull out the first book that we are going to be talking about today. Okay, great. Now I can feel what the back is, so I make sure to take it out with the front of the book down. I'm going to cover up the grade. The grades are on the front where my right hand is and on the back where my left hand is, so I have to do it like this. Okay, now let me see what book we're going to be talking about today. This is X-Men 103. Okay, so I mentioned in another video there was going to be a very special book in this collection. This is a very special one. You're like, Jeff, 103 is not particularly key. You might be right. You are right. But this book is a double cover. I am so excited about this double cover. This is, in all my collecting, this is the only double cover that I've ever purchased that I found in the wild. And so I am really, really excited about this book and finding out what the grade is. Okay, so I guessed that this book, now just so you know with double covers, I may have mentioned this before when we looked at the video in the raw, they give it basically 2 grades, one for the interior cover and one for the exterior cover. The one that's on the big sticker, the big number, is the one for the higher grade, which is usually the one on the interior because it's been protected by the one on the exterior. But it will note what they felt like the grade was of the other cover, the one on the exterior as well. All right, that's more information than you probably need, but I think it's helpful to have. I thought that this would grade at a 9.6, once again, based off of the quality of the interior cover. It was maybe a little optimistic. I was excited about this book. Let's see what CGC thought. Okay. Am I going to be happy or am I going to be sad? A 9.6. Okay, so it got exactly the grade that I expected it to be, and it is a double cover confirmed here on the label. It says double cover, first cover 9.4, interior cover 9.6, and then once again they give it the higher grade. And I'm actually surprised. This one's a white page. White pages. I haven't really been paying attention to the page quality because I'm hyper focused on the grades and grading, but I'm really glad that this is a double cover and also white pages. So this is just something very special to have and really nice to have. It's a great book to have in a 9.6, and it's a great book to have as a double cover. This is very, very cool. I'm super excited about that. And I nailed the grade, so that's good. That's a good sign. I'm always hoping to nail the grade. As I've mentioned in other videos, I tended to be a little bit harsh on the grading of these, a little bit overprotective on the grading, because I want to make sure to protect my investment. But like I said, I was afraid I might be a little bit optimistic on that one, but no, instead I just nailed it. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Oh, this is a good one. This is X-Men 120. I believe the label is going to say first cameo appearance of Alpha Flight. And 121 is the first full appearance, I believe. We'll double check that in a second. But this is the one that people like to collect for some reason, oddly enough. They like the cameo one of this. So that's an interesting one, bit of trivia. Okay, so I thought this was going to be an 8.0. It's actually the lowest grade on this list, but it's a mega key, so I had to send it in regardless of what I thought the grade might be. So let's go ahead and see how far I was off, if at all. Is it an 8.0? Okay, let's see. Am I going to be really happy or really sad? A 9.0. Okay, that's great. That's really great. I mean, I'm not happy that I was wrong. As I mentioned in other videos, I'm okay with being 2 grade increments off. I really only want to be 1 grade increment off. I really want to nail the grade, but I'm totally okay with being 1 grade increment off. 2 grade increments mean I might need to reassess some things, but so many things are so subjective in grading, and 2 is not that much. And I'm always hoping to be off giving it a lower grade than it ends up giving. So this is really, really great. And I am also, I'm a little bit of a grade snob. I really much prefer my books to be 9.0s and higher. So getting this in a 9.0 rather than an 8.0 really, really makes my day. So it does say on the label, first appearance of Alpha Flight in cameo. But this is a super great book and super, super exciting. And one other thing that I'll mention about the label, CGC recently made it so that anybody, even with a free CGC account, can get grader's notes. And so you can look that up by logging in and looking up the certification using this number right here above the barcode. But what they've also added, which is something I'm seeing for the first time on this submission, is QR codes. Here in the background, you can scan those. They're really small, but I assume that they tested it and that your camera will pick it up. And so you can use the QR code to look up the grader's notes as well. So that's a nice little thing that they added that they've already implemented on the label. But this is really, really great. I'm really, really excited to have this in a 9.0, and I'm mostly okay with being off by 2 grade increments. All right, so let's move on to the last book that we are going to be talking about in this video today. Once again, face down, covering the grades, picking up the book, looking, and it is no surprise that they're starting to fall into a little bit of an order right now. This is X-Men 121. As I mentioned before, this is the first full appearance of Alpha Flight. And once again, the 120 is what collectors go for, but this is still a really nice book to have. And there's a lot of speculation that Alpha Flight will be seen in the MCU. All right, let's not delay any further. I actually thought that this book would get a pretty high grade of a 9.4. Here's hoping that I nail it or I'm well below it. Let's go ahead and show you the results. Okay, how'd I do? Happy or sad? Happy or sad? Happy. I got exactly the grade that I expected, a 9.4. So this was actually a pretty good sampling for me. 2 of the books got exactly the grade that I thought they would get, and 1 of them got a grade, 2 grade increments above what I thought. I thought it would get an 8.0, and instead it got a 9.0, and that is absolutely fine. So I am happy with the results of the test of my grading skills. Let me know down in the comments how you did. I'm always interested in hearing what people's guesses were, and be honest. There's no judgment here. We're all here to learn. Be honest with what your guess was, and then see how you tell me your reaction when you saw the final result from CGC. Now, if you haven't already subscribed, definitely subscribe. This is part part 5, you want to check out 6, 7, and 8, subscribe and hit the notification bell. In addition, if you like this content, likes are appreciated by me. All right, thank you all so much, as always, for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.